Hello, my name is John Rose, and in this video I'd like to take a closer look at how we get around what's known as the double coincidence of wants. And of course we're going to do this, as we always have to do, from a raw food, cooked food perspective. In fact, it won't make any sense unless you understand the raw food, cooked food perspective. Because the double coincidence of wants has to do with the very first problem we had with a barter system. And I've talked about these 7 stages of money. I mentioned it just the other day, and I've talked about it in several of my other videos. I did a video where I go into more detail. It starts off with money and I think the stupid starch solution maybe, but it starts off with money. And I go into detail and I explain, or I describe how this problem occurs. And it's an obvious problem that when we use a barter system, when we want something and someone else has what we want, do they want what we want at the same time? So that's a problem that we had to solve in the beginning, and when we solved the problem, we didn't understand that we made a mistake initially by creating this system. And now we're trying to fix the system. See, this is a huge problem knowledge for us right now. Is we don't know why we're having problems, so we create systems to solve the problems. And guess what? The system guarantees the problem is never going to be solved, because the system becomes its own entity and it wants to stay alive. And it knows that if it solves the problem, it's destroyed. So it's like its own entity. It doesn't want to die. So the problem we have is we got all these systems that aren't working, whether it's the medical system or the political system, the monetary system. And the thing is, we really can't fix the system. We can do some downstream work, but what we need to understand is that the system isn't the solution. We are the solution. And that's why we use the wrong approach when we expect systems to solve problems that only we can solve. So what happens is, when you look at the evolution of money, we can put the 7 main stages into 2 main sub-puzzles. One puzzle is what happened before we made mistakes and we had a gift mentality. It was the right mentality. We had what's known as reciprocal altruism. We knew and felt that we were all one with everything, so we knew the more we gave, the more we would receive. It wasn't an illusion back then, but then what happened is we made a huge mistake. We started cooking our food. It destroyed the biophotons. It destroyed the nutrient that feeds one of our senses. We lost one of our senses. Now we don't feel one with everyone. Now when we do what comes natural, and that is to trade with people when we see them, we expect something in return. Let's barter something. Hey, I gave you something, give me something back. So that's the problem we need to solve, not how do we deal with this double coincidence of wants. And of course that's used as an argument saying we needed the money. Look, money solved the problem, you fool. Money's not the problem, it solved the problem. No, it fixed the system that we shouldn't be using to begin with. It's an exchange mentality. That's why I say it's a raw food perspective, cooked food perspective. The right mentality, the wrong mentality. We can't think properly when we don't have all of our senses. Can't have 5 senses, we need 6 senses. So how do you solve the problem with the barter system? You don't try to fix the system. You go back to what we had before the barter system. We go back to reciprocal altruism. And we can't think our way into that. We got to do it. We got to get reconnected. That's why I keep saying, if we're not getting reconnected, guess what? Everything's a distraction. Oh my God, look at the barter system. What are we going to do? Well, I explained in my other videos that we went to an intermediate commodity. And then we had banking systems, and then we had coins, and we had paper money, and there's 6 main pieces to that sub-puzzle. And the whole point of it is we shouldn't even be on that side. We need to be over here where we're supposed to be, with the right mentality. I've said this many times. We'll never be able to solve any of the problems that we have right now with the wrong mentality. That's the cookie mentality. Cooking food's okay. It's what made our brains double. We got more calories. What are you, an idiot? Oh, I got more calories. That's what made my brain better. And yet I lost everything else. I lost half the protein. I lost 37% of the vitamins. 100% of the biophotons, the 100% of the enzymes. And then the biophotons made us lose one of our senses. That didn't make our brains grow bigger. It ruined us. It is the fall of mankind. People are in denial when you think that cooked food is something we're supposed to do. Put your hand in some fire, and what does it do to your hand? It destroys it, doesn't it? That's why we lose half the biological value of protein when we cook our food. And here we are so obsessed with protein. Where do you get your protein? Where do you get your protein? Well, hell, why are you cooking your food, you fool? You lose half your protein. Why are you losing half your protein? Why are you losing half your protein? That's what I'm going to start saying from here on out. Where do you get your protein? Why do you lose half of yours? I don't need as much because I don't destroy it like you do. I'll have to remember that one. So, where do you get your protein? Where do you think we get our protein? I haven't eaten an animal in 30 years. Oh, you're taking a hormone replacement therapy, testosterone, you're taking some pills and steroids. No, I'm not. I'm not even big. I'm reading comments, I'm thinking, what are you talking about? I'm not big and bulky. I got some muscle mass. Eat bananas all day long, even though it's 5% protein, you're going to get all the protein you need. And if we did that, guess what we wouldn't have? A barter system. We wouldn't have that problem. How do we fix it? Well, we use money. Money solved that problem. No, it didn't. So if you want to look at these double coincidences of wants, the solution is not to try to fix the system. It's to go back to what we had before, a gift mentality, the right mentality. And we knew the more we give, the more we receive. Why would we do that? Because we feel the connection to everything. We don't feel that anymore. And we can't intellectualize about it. You got to bump up the biophotons. That's why when people get to go to events where there's a bunch of people doing this, it's a whole different reality. You can feel it, you can sense it, you can feel the energy. Hell, I can feel the energy when I just get out of the big city like Houston and go and get away from all these people that are disconnected. It feels good to get away from people who are disconnected. So, it's a really simple solution to solve the vast majority of our problems. And money doesn't solve the problems, it complicates the problems. It is the ultimate tool of control. It's what's used to then own and control all the other major sources, major sectors rather, of human endeavor that then turn around and bombard our brains with so much bullshit that when we hear the truth about anything that's of importance to help us understand what to eat and to make sure we don't blindly get sucked into this usury, this debt-based currency, what happens? Most people can't handle the truth. It's difficult, I know. So find the courage to climb that unexplored mountain, to go where few have gone so far, to stop gliding with the stream of the crowd. And that's not always easy, is it? In fact, this is one of the biggest problems that we have when we embrace this lifestyle, is sticking with it. Because it's psychologically difficult to break away from the herd, and the herd's going the wrong way. But we got to steer that herd away from that iceberg we're headed to. We owe it to everyone that's down in Plato's cave to help them understand there's a better life. And if we don't do that, things are never going to change, and we're still going to not be able to experience the true paradise we're supposed to experience on this planet. We're not living up to our potential as the guardians on this planet because we don't realize that the better we make everything around us, the better our lives will be. We don't sense that and feel that. So find that courage to test an idea as time has come. To do the first of a 3-step process that I perfected so that you can see what you're missing and do so in a very short period of time. Go down below in the description box and look at my first step. If you're already living this way, then this is something you're going to have to do periodically. But if you don't know anything about this at all and you're having some problems, go on a solid food vacation, my friends, and watch the transformation you're going to go through. And the beauty about what's happening right now, and I already know this because I've coached too many people and I see it happening, and everyone else is seeing it too. They're saying it. When more people start doing this and more people start noticing it, wow, it won't take long to reach the tipping point. And when we reach the tipping point, things are going to change so fast, we can't even comprehend how we're going to deal with those situations in the future. So I've already learned a long time ago it's best not to project too far that direction, although I can't help it. I still speculate and wonder. But that's when I realized, my God, how exciting can this world be once we just correct the biggest mistake we've ever made, stop cooking our food, go on a solid food vacation, do the first of my 3-step process down below, and when you do, I guarantee you, my friends, you're in for a treat.